Hello everyone, my name is Mauro Peña Montalvo. I am studying finance and I am making this video to explain what have I learned during all my semester in my ethics class by a metacognition exercise. This personal reflection has a great value since I will review the things that I learned in this class in addition to mentioning what things I will keep for the future in different aspects of my life, such as personal and professional. The metacognition questions that will be answered are: what have I learned? How have I learned it? What has been the easiest, most complicated, or most innovative? What can I improve to learn more and in a better way? How has this process helped me to learn? And how can I apply the acquired knowledge in different situations? So let's start with the first two questions. First, what have I learned? In my personal dimension, I learned to be more aware of all the problems that exist in climate change issues. And how have I learned it? I learned this thanks to the different presentation of the problems of the world that each team gave during the semester. And and by seeing the different examples of artists using art to raise the awareness that the problem of climate change really exists. For my professional dimension, which in this case, as I already mentioned, I study finance. I learned how different problems in the world are related in some way to the use of money and different economic factors. As in the case of my problem that me and my team investigated, the floods in France, and this led to a small business to close. There were fewer economic activities, and the country had more debts. So I learned this thanks to the network mapping by aligning how one problem lead to the other problem. For the citizen and consumption dimension, I learned thanks to the ecological footprint how I generated great consumption for the world through my actions. So for this reason, at the beginning of the semester, thanks to the first activity, I decided to make some commitments to reduce this great consumption that I was making and thus be able to help in some way as a citizen to contribute to stop being part of this problem and start taking actions to solving it. Now the next question, that is, what has been the easiest, most complicated, and most innovative? In my personal dimension, as I mentioned before, I use activities about art and the presentation of each team about the problematic that they choose. The easiest thing was to see all the examples of the way that people express in art about the problematic, and to see these examples, well, I used the internet and there were a lot of them. So this, I think this was the easiest part, and also the good explanation of the teacher and the team members about the different problematics that were happening all over the world. The hardest thing was to understanding some of the message of the art expressions. For that, I needed to search more information about the art and the person who did it to better understand them. In my professional dimension, I use the network mapping. I think this was one of the most innovative activities in all the class, in all the semester, and I use it to see how everything is connected or related. And the difficult part was to differentiate between the problem and the impacts to create this network mapping. I think for most of the people in the classroom, it was very confusing to create this network mapping. In the citizen and consumption dimension, the easiest part was identifying everything that I was doing wrong, and thanks to that, create my commitments, which I think the most difficult part was remembering to achieve them. But by seeing that I could make a change, that motivated me to achieve them. And the most innovative part was how the ecological footprint can know how your consumptions or behaviors affect the world. Now, how has this process helped me learn? In my personal dimension, creating the different activities about sustainability and climate change helped me to raise awareness and understand climate change issues by investigating the context of the problems. In the professional dimension, the greenwashing speeches and the fast fashion documentary helped me learn a lot by knowing the different examples of greenwashing and how fast fashion affects the world. This made me realize what companies do either to get more sales or to generate more products. The explanation given by the guest helped me to know why is it bad to make this as a company in the greenwashing one. In the citizen dimension, the process has made me more conscious of my role and impact as a citizen in addressing climate change. Through activities like the ecological footprint analysis, I realized the significant influence of my actions for the world. Additionally, learning about greenwashing has highlighted the importance of being informed and proactive citizens who can recognize combat misleading environmental claims by the companies. In the consumption dimension, through the ecological footprint activity, I gained a clearer understanding of how my consumption habits directly impact the environment. And with that, in with the activity of the documentary about fast fashion, it helped me realize that we need to be informed about what the companies do to create the product that we are buying. Now the last question, that is, how can I apply the acquired knowledge in different situations? In the personal dimension, the acquired knowledge allows me to make the problem known to different friends and family, so that they can be as informed as I am and be able to make a change. In the professional dimension, I can use this knowledge to anticipate the economic impacts of environmental problems, allowing to have a better financial planning. And by now, I am studying the tronco común in business. So with that, I can help the company where I will work in the future not to fall into greenwashing and do true advertising about what the company is doing about climate change. As a citizen, I can actively participate in environmental initiatives that promote sustainability, and just like in the I mentioned in the personal dimension, inform my neighbors so that together we can create a change. In the consumption dimension, I already applied the knowledge by changing certain consumption habits that I had in order to reduce my ecological footprint. The conclusion that I have is that through this course, I have gained a deeper understanding of the issues surrounding climate change. I have learned how personal behaviors, economical factors, and business practices contribute to environmental problems, and how informed actions can drive to significant changes. This knowledge empowers me to be an agent of change, both in my personal life by adopting sustainable practices and professionally by advocating ethical business practices. Going forward, I am committed to applying this knowledge to influence positive environmental outcomes. My final message is that we must act now, as our planet faces great challenges due to extreme weather events which threaten our way of life. We are obligated to protect our environment to future generations. In my ethics class, I learned how individual actions and systemic change can make a difference. Each of us has the power to reduce our ecological footprint, supporting companies that prioritize sustainability. Together, we can combat climate change and create a better world for all. Thank you.